Hello, this is Arnold Mangioli for Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing, and this is Twelfth Night. It is the Feast of the Epiphany, the Three Kings Day in many cultures throughout the world, largely in Europe and in South America. It is celebrated as the big event of the holidays. It is the night for getting together with loved ones in whatever ways that may be possible nowadays, for exchanging gifts. It's the night of the big feast. It's a celebration. It's a night of magic. I'm going to miss that. This is the hardest thing to put away at the end of the Christmas season. I know many of you are probably thinking, all right, Arnold, with the Christmas thing, enough already. But there's 12 days of Christmas, and I mean to celebrate everyone, and I'm going to do everything I can to promote for everyone that you may have this holiday, this feast, that you may have joy in your life, that we may all participate in every way possible in all of the festive and wonderful gifts of the season, of the day, of the present moment of our lives. I'm all for it. That's all I can tell you. So, Happy New Year, happy 12th night, as Shakespeare puts it, 12th night, or what you will. It's a time of discovery. You know, we manifested here to discover. Certainly those of us who are in the arts and in show business and who work in theater, it's all about discovery. So let's take a look at what we have discovered in the past year and what we hope to discover in the year ahead. You know, for many of us in show business, I think most would agree at this point, this has been lately like a mega episode of Survivor. It's like the Broadway series Survivor. The whole world has shifted now, of course, the way we get deliveries, supplies, our supply chain, the medical care and how that's handled. And Broadway is not immune to that, you know, and nothing is what we have known at the moment. We're in a period of change and transition worldwide, all of us. And I refer back to the quote that's on my door this holiday season, which I shared in an earlier video. It's a Charles Dickens quote: "Reflect upon your present blessings, of which every person has many, not on your past misfortunes, of which all people have some." So let's reflect upon our present blessings. You know, 24 shows are currently open and running. There were 30 some odd, 34 or 36 that reopened this season since August. And I guess a little earlier if you count Bruce Springsteen's one-person show, but with various closures and then temporary shutdowns due to COVID and Mrs. Doubtfire going on a 9-week hiatus, and all different terminology for things pausing or having kind of a rocky go of it as we have been. We are moving forward somehow, you know, and it may be stumbling forward, but we're going forward. And I don't know if anybody expected this road back to be easy, but I certainly did not. And I think many of us knew it would be potentially rough going. So I just want to say thank you to everyone making it happen. I want to say thank you to the stars, to the understudies, to the swings, to every chorus and ensemble person, to every actor on those stages and waiting backstage to jump on at a moment's notice. I want to say thank you to the agents and casting directors and company managers and wig makers and box office personnel, the folks that break down services, the people who run the rehearsal and audition studios, the people that we work with throughout the process. It takes a village. And I just want to say that while we're celebrating the holidays, I am celebrating you. And I am so grateful for all of us who are making this sojourn forward. It is January 6th, and I know that also marks the anniversary of a great American tragedy. This year is the first anniversary of the insurrection against the Capitol. This is not a political broadcast, but please let's all keep an eye on that. There's a lot being discovered in the various House investigations about it. The main thing I think to remember is that Trump's campaign has stopped the Steele election. Time magazine reported just today that the email campaign that went out to his small donors, not to the big corporations, but the small donors, has raised $50 million that he has no restrictions on. It's just people get an email saying, "Stop the steal of the election. It was also unjust." Big red button, "Donate now to save America." And they just give money to Donald Trump, these small contributions of $5, $10, whatever people are giving. And he's raised $50 million that way, which I understand is 8 times what he raised when he ran for president. So this has been really lucrative for him, and there's no sign that he and his family are going to stop. So, to me, the irony of all of this is to take a day like January 6th, which to me is such a beautiful holiday, such a beautiful time for reflection. It is all about, in Christian tradition, it is all about the story of the Epiphany, the letting go of earthly power. The three kings, the Magi, coming forward and bowing down to spirituality and acknowledging a power greater than ourselves, surrendering the illusion of our own earthly power and us being kings in some way or other, and making offerings of all that we have, our riches, our wealth, our whatever we have to share, and giving service and doing good, and making our journey, following that star, as so many of us in the theater and in show business do, and making a journey to some greater cause or purpose or values or system of beliefs. So to me, anybody who could in any way be involved with an insurrection on such a beautiful day as today, when there's so much to celebrate, it it speaks to something that is being missed there in a very big way. I would offer to anyone the value, the inestimable value of choosing instead to make our journey to find something better than whatever power or riches or clout or whatever it is that any of us feel we may have. Let's let go of that. Let's find the willingness to let go, and let's make our journey. One of my favorite things about the 12 Days of Christmas is looking at that song, the 12 Days of Christmas. And it's just fascinating to me, because if you go to the internet and you search symbolism of the 12 Days of Christmas or meaning of the song 12 Days of Christmas, what comes up en masse are like two really big things. One thread is all about how the song means nothing, it has no symbolism. And the other thing is all of these like really extreme Christian groups saying this is what every single thing means. It is all about, the 7 swans or the 7 drops of blood of Christ, and all these like bizarre interpretations. But if you look just at the symbolism of what occurs on the day. So for example, in the 12 Days of Christmas, this is the 12th day, January 6th, and it's 12 drummers drumming. And if you just look at the symbol of the drums, what a powerful symbol. I have cast projects over the years involving Native Americans and First Nations people. And one of the things I discovered in that work is that very often they're asked to come into plays or theater projects, and it involves drumming, and that there's an objection to that because drumming is something very sacred in Native American and First Nations cultures. So it's a sacred tool, the drum. So today in that song happens to be about drumming. Drumming also, in addition to being sacred, it's believed the sound, sound waves that aren't a rocket ship or a thing, they're sort of a vibration. They are considered a way of connecting heaven and earth, a way of maintaining rhythm and world order. There are myths and legends in so many cultures around the world about how the rhythm of the drum, the rhythm of the drums could not only awaken the creative energy of the human soul, but they're the key to the rhythm of the universe. The same rhythm that the universe fashioned Earth, and from primordial chaos fashioned order. there's always a drummer or a shaman in so many cultures who restores order when disorder begins to reign. It's about healing the human spirit. Uh, in Buddhism, the drum symbolism is very much about concepts of royalty, authority, invincibility, because drum sounds reach everywhere. They fill the earth and sky. Um, so they can't be ignored or overwhelmed by lesser sounds. It's sort of the main riding thing. It's about clarity. It also connects personality and spirituality, earth and sky, sacred and sexual, though to me there's no reason those two things can't coexist, and things can be both. But it's just so interesting what the drums mean, and how the final day of the 12 days of Christmas is about drumming, about making that sound, about connecting and awakening our creative energy and the human spirit. There's such value to that. And also that it occurs at the beginning of the year. I've said before, I'm not a big New Year's resolution, New Year's Day person. Don't ask me to exercise on January 1st. That's a really great holiday. And I know for some people it's an everyday thing, and God bless you. You look wonderful. You look fabulous. But for some of us, getting like back to work, back to routine, on what is really a day to celebrate, a day to enjoy, a day to reflect upon, or somehow charge or recharge our human spirit. Boy, don't we need that now. So it's a new year. What's ahead? It's a beautiful evening. It's 12th night. How about a vision board? How about creating a vision board for ourselves? Not a big ordeal. Take 5 minutes. Let's take 5 minutes and some post-it notes and say, here's what I'd like to see happen this year. And, oh, this has to happen before that. So let me put a post-it note about that. And this would happen after. And maybe that could be moved up, and give ourselves a little plan for the year. A loose, imaginative, artistic rendering of a plan for ourselves. Take 5 minutes. Maybe start with a deep breath. Maybe just a moment to connect to our creativity and our humanness and spirituality, our personality and spirituality. Maybe just a moment. I always like to exhale first. And just take in that air. Feel it fill us up and release. Maybe just start with a deep breath. Do you have everything you need right now? I know there's so many things we need, and there are many people in need, and there are health issues, and there are people dying, and there is still a world pandemic on, and a lot of things are happening. In this moment, do I have everything I need? I know for a lot of us in show business, there's a little uneasiness about work going forward and when regular work will return for a lot of us, etc. In this present moment right now, take a breath. Do I have everything I need right now? Just maybe ask ourselves that. Just what we need now, not what we need long term or for tomorrow or for later. But in this moment, do I have everything I need? What would be 3 things that would make 2022 our best year ever? What would that be for you? It's the year of the tiger, We went from the year of the rat, which was when the pandemic hit, which apparently is generally a pretty rough year in the Chinese zodiac. And then the next year of the cycle of 12 is the year of the ox, and that was 2021, mostly kind of lugging and not really launching anywhere, but just kind of taking things in and being a bit at a standstill. And then in a few weeks, we will begin the year of the tiger, which is where we launch forward and we roar and things happen. So this may indeed be a year when things happen. We can start by being grateful for what we have. Many of us have lost things. Many of us have lost loved ones. I'm not diminishing that at all, but what if we start in a place of gratitude for what we have? Grateful. let's ask ourselves, are we ready for what's ahead? Suppose this Omicron variant dies down very quickly, like it did in South Africa. It peaked and then it kind of fizzled out and went away. They say that may happen. The medical experts that I've listened to, have talked about how that may happen with this. By the end of January, this surge we're having may dissolve. Okay. Are we ready for what's ahead? Are we doing what we can to make ourselves ready? Are we open to life on life's terms? Maybe it won't dissolve so quickly. Are we open to what comes and to working with life on life's terms for the things we hope to manifest, to make happen, to be? Are we willing to make the journey? Are we willing to surrender our earthly wealth and riches and the things that we value so much and think are so important to us, the very best of what we have? Are we willing to give it over to a higher spiritual journey for ourselves? Are we willing to fill the earth and sky with our voice and not be overwhelmed by lesser sounds, like the inner critics who talk to us and say, oh, how can you do that? Or what makes you think you can make that transition or start this new career or get back on stage? Are we willing to not be overwhelmed by those lesser sounds, but to show up and to be clear and unmistakable, like the beat of the drums? 2022 is here. What are we looking forward to? Put it in the chat, put it in the comments, share it, speak it into existence. Tell us what you're looking forward to. We'd love to hear. I wish you a year as good and better as you can imagine. May this be the happiest year of all your past and the saddest year of all your future. May it just keep getting better. Happy New Year, happy new season, happy new whatever you ideally want it to be. This is Arnold Mangioli for, just getting my wand here, Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing. Happy 12th Night.